All right. What is up, guys? How is everybody doing today? Where I'm at, there is a huge freeze coming over. So, yeah, I really want to get in the habit of like a regular stream schedule. But yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do Monday because we always lose power whenever there's like a freeze. So, we're gonna do a Friday stream right now, preemptively, and we're gonna make up for not being able to stream probably next week. So, if you guys don't know what we're doing, we're gonna be ranking all of Wonder Man's cards right here. So I have all of his cards pulled up. I think we know all of them now at this point from the reviews. So yeah, we have them all right here. We're gonna rank and evaluate each one of them, putting them in this tier list in a tier list debate with chat. So yeah, I'm very excited to do this here. We don't know how the hero is actually going to play yet because he's not out yet. But we do have all the cards here, so I think we can actually like evaluate it and rank each one. And yeah, just let me know, guys. Can you guys hear me? No one's chatted yet, so I'm not sure if everything's working. But yeah, let's go ahead and should I just go ahead and take the first turn? Let me share the Hall of Heroes tab here. Welcome to the chat. MCG wire hidden. Okay, thank you for letting me know that it's working. All right. I think we're just gonna go ahead and get started here. I do want to like cut down the time on these because people have been telling me that I take a little bit too long ranking these cards. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my first turn, and then we'll just have chat go, and then we'll always get my going on that way. So okay, so I already know which card I want to rank first. So if you guys don't know how Wonder Man's kit works, he has this ionic physiology right here. This upgrade's permanent. It's going to start off in play with this alter ego ability right here. And basically, you can tuck a max of 3 cards underneath this card. And after you play an event with the printed energy resource, you can tuck that event from your discard pile under this ionic physiology. And you also get a huge damage from your Denny. So it's nice because you can heal damage from Wonder Man as you play these, printed energy resource events. But when you have 3 cards tucked here, Wonder Man, he gets +1 attack for each card tucked under, the ionic physiology. So he can get up to a 4 attack there. However, he does have a force response. It's force, so it's required, which kind of sucks. But after Wonder Man makes a basic attack, you must discard each card that's tucked under the ionic physiology. So that's kind of like the thing that we want to play around. So if we're to play cards that work off of his attack stat, then he'll never basic attack, and he would have to discard all those cards from the ionic physiology, right? So we want to build that up and then potentially like keep it there almost, right? So a lot of the cards in this kit revolve around that, and all of his events, not all of them, but most of them have like for example, Starstruck here. 1 cost event here, action attack, do damage to enemy equal to your attack. If you overpay for this card with the energy resource, you can stun that enemy, right? So it's nice to be able to do damage equal to your attack, and he gets a kicker for overpaying for cards. So all of his cards have like the kicker for whenever you overpay for something, but not all of them like correlate with the amount of cards tucked under the ionic physiology. Curtis Ironstar, welcome to chat. He says your first game with Wonder Man should be either against Iron Man or Mojo. Okay. Battle of Energy Resource against Iron Man or Mojo tries to recruit Simon Williams as his new movie star. Ooh, is that like lore accurate stuff? I don't really know too much about the Wonder Man character. I'm excited to watch the Disney Plus series though. I have no clue when it comes out though, but I'm like avoiding the trailers because I just want to like enjoy it and not get spoiled for anything. MCG says Starstruck is really good. Yeah, Starstruck is a pretty good card. That's not gonna be the card that I'm gonna be ranking first, though. I want to rank this card that kind of like sets everything into motion, I think, with Wonder Man. So I'm gonna be talking about his 1 cost right here, Mr. Hollywood. It's a unique card. So for my turn to rank a card, I'm gonna be ranking this card here. I think I don't know yet because we haven't taken a look at all cards. I think this is the best card in Wonder Man's kit. I think this is it, right? It's a 1 cost upgrade. Title, resource. You can generate an energy resource to overpay for a card. Limit once per card, not once per phase or once per round. So the first thing to look at is that it's only 1 cost, which is super duper cheap, right? That's like the cheapest. Well, 0 cost is really nice, but 1 cost, I think it's like pretty easy to get down and play. And you can only generate energy resources to overpay for stuff with this card. So if you're paying for like the actual like cost of a card, it won't work, only for overpayment. But because it doesn't exhaust, it's limited once per card, you can like use this like 3, 4, 5 times in one turn, which I think is pretty crazy. So if we take a look at, for example, like Starstruck here, here action attack, do damage to enemy equal to your attack. If you overpay for this card with an energy resource, you can stun an enemy. So you're paying one card for this, one cost, I mean, for a Starstruck. But then you can use Mr. Hollywood to overpay for it, energy kicker, and get the stun. So like, you're paying for however much damage your attack is, and you get that stun basically for free. Like you get free stun every single time if you have the Mr. Hollywood in play for just one cost. Like one cost for a stun, that's already like pretty good, right? And then he also has like, if you look at this card right here, the active altruism, 0 cost event, remove 1 threat from a scheme, and then 2 additional threat from the scheme for each energy that you overpay for the card. So if you only have this card in your hand, but you have the Mr. Hollywood down, or you can overpay for at least once, so you're playing 0 cost here to remove 1 plus 2. So it's going to be 3 threat for 0 cost event. That's crazy. If you spend 1 energy resource, to overpay for it, like in addition to the Mr. Hollywood, I mean, it's basically a 1 cost, Thor event that's taking 5 threat. That's pretty crazy, right? Let's see, invite homie. Welcome to the chat, man. Yes, I was able to stream. Says, are we rating these internal to this kit or with regards to the whole card pool? So we're rating these cards with regards to the whole card pool, but with how they work for Wonder Man, right? So like, for example, if like, Mr. Hollywood's not that good for like, Spider-Man, right? So like if this was a card in Spider-Man's kit, we probably like would not rate it as high, but we do want to compare it to other cards like aspect cards and basic cards as a whole. So like for my tier list here, let me share the tab. Why does everything keep moving here? So like, for example, here on the tier list, I have like the B tier. It says better than aspect cards, right? So, most identity specific cards are going to be better than aspect cards. So the average, for identity cards, I think are a little bit higher than like aspect cards. So we want to put that here if they're just, not the best identity card, but still better than like the general curve of like aspect cards that we have like access to, right? So let's go ahead and rank Mr. Hollywood. I think it goes S, right, guys? Doesn't this go S? Because I mean, let's jump back over to his cards here. Because, like, if you have, 2 Thor events in your hand, you play 1, remove 3 threat, you play another 1, remove 3 threat because of Mr. Hollywood, right? Mr. Hollywood hits the kicker for Starstruck, it hits the kicker for Ionic Blast, right? It's like basically all of his events that I need to overpay for. Like, Mr. Hollywood helps you do that, like, kind of for free. And a lot of these other events and aspect cards that we got here, which one? The Everywhere All at Once, right? Choose X schemes, remove 2 threat from each chosen scheme, and then 3 threat instead if you overpay for this card, right? So the more overpaid stuff that we get, the better that Mr. Hollywood is. But for Wonder Man specifically, who has, 3 events that all want to work off overpayment, I mean, how many cards is it? I think he has 1, it's a number 2, 3, 4. So I think he has 3 Thor events, 2 of this attack event, and then potentially 2 or 3 of this one. So that's like, what's the math on it? 7 or 8 cards that Mr. Hollywood just goes crazy off of. And they're super duper cheap. So you can play them like 2, 3 times per turn. I feel like it's the card that makes, oh man, I need to zoom out on it. Okay. I feel like it's a card that makes Wonder Man work, right? Let me see what you guys think about that. So, Alexi, welcome to chat. How's it going? Hope you're good. Thank you, man. We're just trying to stay warm. I just like bought a bunch of stuff earlier today for the freeze that's coming. So we have stocked up on like bread, protein bars, stuff like that. Hope you're doing well too. I'm not sure if the freeze hits over in Europe. I have no clue about like weather over there compared to like America. MCG says, can overpay for Ant-Man too? Yeah. Since this says card, not just events, definitely S tier. Yeah. Like if you're playing with the Ant-Man ally, like in leadership for Wonder Man, or you're playing with the Wasp ally who's in aggression, I mean, yeah, he's overpaying for all that stuff, which is really nice. Bardic Monk, welcome to the chat, dude. Glad you're able to join us. Always excited to learn about a character I have no expectations for. I think that's why I like Civil War heroes so much. Hope you're staying warm. Thank you. Hope you're staying warm too. Yeah, a lot of these Civil War heroes, I have no expectation for them. They've all been blown. Okay, we only got 2, right? We got a Hulkling and Tigra, but they've both have been blowing my mind. So especially, I think Hulkling, I was already pretty like actually had expectations for because of his double resource with his upgrades. But Tigra, I mean, she looked good on paper, but I was a little bit hesitant of like how she would actually work because of what's that called? The minion stuff, right? Because a lot of times minion slayers, they're a little bit reliant on minions. But yeah, she totally exceeded my expectation for her. Like she's awesome. MCG says also my Discord is it's Yeldrin. Welcome to the chat, Yeldrin. I did not know you were a Yeldrin. I'll never chat on YouTube, but it's fun to catch a stream. Yeah, dude, welcome to the chat. Huge shouts to Yeldrin, guys. For the final part of my giveaway, during last Christmas, Yeldrin was the one who sponsored for the Ant-Man and the Star-Lord. Yes, Star-Lord and the Ant-Man Hero Packs. Yeah, so thank you so much, Yeldrin, for being able to supply that for the community. And yeah, just huge shouts out. He has some extra packs there, so he offered to donate that. Epic Beowulf, welcome to chat. Hope you're doing well. Excited for Wonder Man. Dude, I am super hyped for Wonder Man. Right now, I'm more excited for Wonder Man more than like Hulkling and Tigra. And definitely Hercules as well. Like Daredevil is probably the only hero that I'm more excited for, just because like the Lord Daredevil, even though we don't really know anything about him. I think I'm more excited for Wonder Man because we've seen his cards than all the other heroes in Defender Wave right now. Yeah, Wonder Man he looks really awesome. And I'm glad that we got all of his cards out here too. So let's start a poll. Does chat want to skip turn to move Mr. Hollywood? Okay. My pleasure. It's a great community. Super hyped for Wonder Man. Yeah, I'm super hyped for him. Let's see where his chat says. Yeah, so if you guys vote for yes, we're just moving down to A tier because that's the only spot you guys can move him anyways. Put it in S. Yes, it seems like everyone's voting right now for to keep Wonder Man. Or to keep Mr. Hollywood, who is Wonder Man, I guess, where it's at. So yeah, guys, what are you guys doing for the freeze? Are you guys doing stuff to like prepare for that? What's like the best foods? I want to make like avocado toast for me and my wife. So we got like some avocado, cream cheese. Welcome to the chat, dude. I'm glad you're. Ooh, it's tied up right now. So chat may want to skip their turn to see what you guys think about that. Um, Yeah, I think I'll do. Okay, so the first person in chat, we're just gonna do the switch so we can keep the stream like moving on a little bit quicker. First person in chat to comment a Wonder Man card is going to that's gonna be the card that we rank for chat. So you guys see what I'm saying here? Whoever's the first person to comment any one of these cards, that's the one that we'll do if chat gets a turn. Actually, because I forgot chat may not get a turn. Okay, Starstruck. The other says Starstruck. So chat's gonna rank Starstruck if you guys don't move my ranking. So if you move my ranking, then you guys skip your turn. NB says, "What city do you live in?" Houston, Texas. Alexi says, "I actually voted yes, but I'm gonna click no." Okay. So if it's tied up, then we'll move to the no here for Alexi. Yeah. So I have custom gameplay requests for all my. I said my connection is not safe. Okay, it's back. I have so basically, if you want to do a custom gameplay request, if you want to submit that, all you gotta do is become a channel member. I believe it's gonna be the Web-Warrior Fanatic Mega Fanatic tier. I believe it's $10 a month for that one, and then you can submit a request every single month. You can just comment on any video or like send me email. Yeldrin says, "Is stream cutting out?" Yeah, my stream said that it's cutting out because like internet issues. I think because of the weather. Maybe I should just skip streaming this weekend. I'm not sure. Hopefully, it's like back on track. Yeah, I had like a little yellow like, exclamation mark. Um, it wasn't like it was like, oh, it's back. Yeah, it says warning your connection isn't stable. Please wait while trying to reconnect. Sorry about that, guys. Monk says, I think you're only excited about Daredevil because he pretended to be Spider-Man for a bit. I mean, that's super hype in Civil War. Hoping he gets a Spider-Man like Falcon got the Captain America title. Sorry, guys. If you guys want me to repeat something, just let me know. I have no clue how it looks 50, but I like that chat's rank Starstruck up over to Hall of Heroes here. Okay, so let me know what you guys think about this card right here, Starstruck. Let me I'll read the card, but let me go ahead and set the poll for you guys. And hopefully the lag's better. The like warning sign went away. Okay, so how strong is Starstruck? We'll go SAB. Let me know if the lag is better, guys. Okay, so it's a cost unit energy resource. You can send nice, right? You do damage to energy and get it. I mean, okay, paying one cost to do one damage is not good. That's not what we're going for. Paying one cost to do 2 damage is also not great. Paying one cost to do 3 damage, that's pretty good. That's better than aspect cards. I feel like this card, if you overpay for it with energy resource, you can send me. So you have to at least pay 1 cost for it, and then you can overpay with energy resource, right? So this card, I feel like it's not as good until you get Mr. Hollywood down. Once Mr. Hollywood is in play, get that stun kicker for free, and then you're paying 1 cost to basically get stun and do like X amount of damage, which we don't know yet. The bad thing is though, if you don't have Mr. Hollywood, you have to pay 2 costs to get the stun and it's more damage. And depending on the damage that it does, it may not be that good. So yeah, I'm not sure. Uh Andy says I live near Houston too. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Shout out to H-Town. Just north of there, in Porter, New Caney. Okay, I have no clue if cities or anything. Um, but yeah, I know like Houston area. I know like the Willis area, like that. Um, Hyojin says I voted A, but I think it's probably A plus. Okay, I think it's 1 cost for damage to stun more than 50% of the time. Ooh, okay, I don't know, guys. I don't know. We don't know how Wonder Man works yet, so I'm not sure how easy it is to get that off. But I agree with you. More than 50% of the time, I think it's A. Evan Baywolf says, "Do we know the player cards are going to come with Wonder Man?" Yeah, I think we know all the cards now after this week. Um, from all the reviews, we have them in the Hall of Heroes. So like these are like his identity cards, and these are like the aspect cards that got reviewed here. So over on the tier list, I added all the identity cards here. Let's see what the poll is at. So we have the majority of votes going to be A tier. We have 67% of the votes voting for Starstruck to be in the A tier. I'm gonna let the poll run a little longer, but I think that's pretty fair. Honestly, I don't even, and this is a hard to because I don't know how his kid works. He really needs Mr. Hollywood. I feel like you need Hollywood down to a Star Trek. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's getting better, guys. I hope it's getting better for y'all. If not, I might have to like maybe just stream if it's unwatchable. Let me know if it's like unwatchable for you guys. Not that. Okay, we have okay, I think the polls are running for a minute. So we have 57% of the vote here. So I'm gonna end the poll. It's been over 3 minutes here. So yeah, let's end the poll. And then let's go over to our tier list here. Okay, so we got Starstruck right here. Starstruck. And we're gonna go ahead and put that in A tier because that's what chat has this card. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste. I think that's a fair spot for Starstruck. I mean, I don't. It's amazing. I think if you have Mr. Hollywood down, it's always amazing, right? Because 1 cost for a stun. Yeah, I mean, it just really depends on Mr. Hollywood, right? Other than that, you're paying 2 cost. The floor of this card is 2 costs for a stun and 1 damage. A stun and 1 damage for 2 card. Oh man, my screen keeps shifting. I don't know if it's because of the lag. Um, Yo just says it's very choppy. Ah, sorry guys. I don't know. What should we end the live stream here, guys? I don't know. Maybe I'd like to do a poll if you guys think I should just end the live stream right now. Like if it's not watchable, I don't want to just like keep on doing this and it's like so bad to watch for you guys. Let me start a poll here. Should can we end the live stream because of lag? Yeah, I'll just ask you guys. Yeah, if you guys think I should end the live stream, we can just end it because I'm not sure how the viewing experience is for you guys. Monk says I'm gonna have to watch the VOD. Sorry, WWF. It gets good for a second, then you turn to Neo Energy Matrix. I'm not sure if it's because of me swapping screens, but I did that last time and it worked pretty well. So I'm not sure if that's the thing. Evan Beowulf says, "What do you think is the weakest part of Spider-Man's?" And I'm hoping the VOD is better too. I have no clue how it's gonna be. What do you think is the weakest part of Spider-Man, Peter Parker's kit? Thor or minion control? Asking because I'm going to play PvP and want to create a hard encounter deck. What do you think is the weakest part of Spider-Man's kit? Thor or minion control? I think thwarting. Yeah, I think thwarting is weaker than minion control. I'm asking because I want to play PvP. Oh, for PvP. Oh, you want to create a hard encounter deck. Yeah, I think thwarting. I think if you can swarm out side schemes on turn one, that's probably going to be the toughest thing for Peter to deal with. Um, you really want it as early as possible because if they come a little bit later, he'll have like allies in play and he'll have like more tempo. But yeah. Let's see. Invited homie says, I'll vote yes, but I'll watch either way. Yeah, thanks for watching either way. Yeah, it looks like the majority of votes here are on yes. So I think I may just end it here, guys. Um, yeah, sorry. I think that means that it's really choppy and like really tough to watch. And yeah, I don't want to do a live stream here, and then it's just like impossible to watch. Sorry guys. We'll probably resume the stream then. We'll like start over here on the list. Maybe we'll do it. I thing is, I think the internet's gonna be terrible on Monday and Tuesday because of the freeze. So I may have to do like the week after. Yoshi says reschedule for future date. Yeah, I want to reschedule for another date. I just think that man, I feel it's gonna be super delayed. Yeah, I really want to do it as early as possible. Yeah, so maybe we'll have to do like in 2 weeks from now. But then 2 weeks from now, I want to do the Hercules cards. So maybe we'll do the Hercules cards next week. Um, and then after that, we will do the Wonder Man cards. Yeah, I think we'll do something like that. Um, Let me see. Evan Beowulf says, "Have you played PvP? The stream is good now." Have I played PvP? Yeah, yeah, I played PvP. Um, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. Uh, Yojin says it's gotten much better now since I put the poll up. Significantly less choppy. Okay. Evan Beowulf says it's good now. It's I mean, now it's at 50%. Yes and no. I don't know. What should I do, guys? I don't. Okay, MB says, yeah, it's good now. Okay, I'm gonna let the poll run a little bit longer. It's at 50% each. If you guys all vote to keep it going, I guess I'll keep it going. Okay. If anyone else says it's choppy, I'm gonna just end the stream because I feel like I don't want it to go on and off for you guys and like string you guys along and like have it like keep being like decent. Brian says, sounds good to me. Yeah. Welcome to the chat, Brian. MC Yojin says, keep going. It's good. It's good. Keep it. All right, guys. Let's keep it a little bit longer and we'll just see what happens. Let me know if it gets choppy again, though. If it spikes again, yeah. Invite Homie says we should wait until the next lag spike. Yeah, if it spikes again, I think I'll just end it because uh, go change that vote, y'all. No voters. Yeah. All right, man. All right, you guys voted for no now. Okay, we'll keep the stream going here. Alexi says is improved since the poll. Maybe it's when you change the screen. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me change the screen here. How is that, guys? Is it worse? So I'm gonna rank a card. And then you guys just let me know if it's. And I think I'm just gonna end the stream. So let me end this poll here because you guys are voting no now. Um, Okay, let's do Wonder Man. I feel like Wonder Man is like his hero identity card. 2 Thor, 1 attack, 2 defense. Power recycling. Wonder Man gets +1 attack for each card tucked under Ionic Physiology. As a force response, after Wonder Man makes a basic attack, discard each card tucked under the Ionic Physiology. Oh, that's weird. Okay, he has printed aerial. That's pretty nice. So I feel like that's good to have. Not a lot of heroes have printed aerial. 2 Thor is a huge thing for him, so that's great. 1 attack is a little bit lower. 2 defense is good. Then you see he can't get his attack up. 12 hit points is pretty good. He has like high hit points. He just has a regular normal hand size. Thing with him is he can't really basic attack, right? He can basic attack once for like a high number. Then you lose all the attack cards from the Iron Physiology. his attack drops back down to 1. So, like, he's not gonna be able to, like, on-demand basic attack, like, free willy all the time. You're gonna have to play around that. So I feel like yeah, that's kinda yeah, I feel like because you have to play around that jump back over this tab here. So, I feel like because you have to play around that, he's I wouldn't put him in A. I feel like if he didn't have such a low floor, he would go in A. But with no tucked cards, I mean, 2-1-2 with no ability basically, right? He can he can build the card to get up to 4 attack, but once you get to 4 attack, you have to be very specific about when you choose to actually launch the attack, right? Because if you can't you don't wanna do it all the time, you wanna do it at a good time, so I think I put him in the B tier. Dang, guys, my screen keeps jumping. But yeah, I'll say so I'll put Wonder Man. I think it might be because of the lag. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the B tier, guys. I feel like that's kind of surprising. Yeah, Wonder Man's identity card going to B tier because he doesn't generate any resources. He's not like a regular hero that just like gives you something, right? Like Spider-Man Peter Parker. I think you guys put it in an S, but I thought he was like an A tier level type of card because he'll always give you a resource for Spider Sense if you're in your hero form, which is the hero identity, right? So he gives you like a bonus to something. Um, and Wonder Man doesn't really do that. It's almost like a detriment, right? Because you have to play around that. You have to like be more careful about how he plays. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why it just keeps on shifting down like this tier list here. I don't know what I can do. Maybe if I make the screen bigger than that, but that is probably not helping the lag. Okay, Abiel says, "No, still good." Alexi says, "Still, seems to be keeping up." Okay, okay, well, I'm glad the stream's better now. Beowulf says, "Printed aerial bumps him to A." Ooh, okay, okay. Otherwise, it's B. Yojin says, "I think he," or I'm gonna just call you MCG, so like chat knows who I'm referring to whenever I read your chat. MCG says, "I think he's solidly B." Alexi says, "I think his identity card is okay. His power then comes from his events, and the ionic physiology upgrade." Yeah, I think that's usually how it works with Wonder Man, right? We don't know it because we haven't played him, but yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Does chat want to change my ranking for Wonder Man hero card? So would you no? Would you yes? Bump to A, and then yes, drop to C. We'll see what you guys say there. So you guys can skip your turn here to move my ranking. Yeah, I think it's a tough one because yeah, I mean, the 2 Thor is very nice. That's probably like the 2 Thor and 12 hit points, that's like the best part on his card, I think. Yeah, I think that like normally if you have 2 Thor and 12 hit points, if you have any positive hero ability, you all may go in A, right? I feel like if it's 2 Thor, 12 hit points, and like you just have any good ability, it goes in A. But his ability is almost a bad thing, right? Because after you make a base attack, you lose all your top cards. So like, yeah, I will almost say it's a detriment, but he gets held up because of the 2 Thor and the 12 hit points. If it wasn't for that, it wouldn't be as good. Epic Beowulf says he's Arrow and Avenger. Consider that. I think that helps him a lot. Yeah, so like I think the aerial thing is super nice because obviously he can play any of those aerial events that require to be aerial. Avengers is nice too. Having both printed is a big bonus. Um, but like you have to I mean obviously you have to play a deck around aerial and Avenger to really benefit off of that. I think my build for Wonder Man was more of like a just an aggression build, like the build that I planned for him. So I'm not really going into the aerial and Avenger stuff as much. Um, Oh, but it looks like you guys want to bump him to A. 60% of the vote here says to bump him up. So I think we may just end up bumping him up here. Um, yeah, he's definitely a tough one. I think that the balance of how good his traits are, yeah, how good his traits are with his two Thor is really nice. Um, yeah, yeah, I feel like it's definitely a tough one there. Brian says Ever Vigilant is a strong card. Yeah, he can automatically play Ever Vigilant. Ever Vigilant, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not energy though, right? So you can't include that in any aspect. But that would be bonkers if he could do that. That would be really good if Ever Vigilant worked for him in any aspect. Beowulf says with aggression, he can play Dive Bomb, and with Avenger, he can play Couldn't Care also. Ooh, Dive Bomb is Physical, right? Yeah, if Diabond was the energy resource event, that would be crazy. Um, with Avengers, he can play Quinn Care. Yeah, Quinn Care is really nice to have that resource generator. Yeah, I think you guys are all keeping him in, or bumping him up to A. So yeah, I think chat's gonna skip their turn here, and we're gonna move him up to A tier, and we'll see where you guys want to put him in A tier. Um, Starting a poll here. Is Wonder Man hero card better than Starstruck? So you guys say about that? Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that you guys would probably just vote for it to be behind Starstruck based on the votes that I got for Starstruck here. Yeah, it's so for 100% no. Yeah, I think that's a fair spot. Let me think about what card I would rank next. Um, so you guys move my ranking. You guys skipped your turn and move my ranking. That usually does not happen in these tiers debates. You guys usually let me just keep wherever I want. So that's interesting to see there. I think I'll rank one of the new cards that were just reviewed. Maybe one of the ones that Nelson reviewed. That might be fun. So yeah, I think you guys are all voting no here. Let's jump back over to Hall of Heroes. And then let's go over a card that Nelson reviewed. One of the newer cards from Wonder Man here. Or should we do the community group review here? What are you? No, a little more interesting. Okay, let's do. I'm gonna rank Wonder Fans. So Wonder Fans is a new card that Nelson reviewed. One cost support. You guys know I love Alter Ego shenanigans. So this is the Alter Ego card here. It's Alter Ego action. You can only trigger this, in Alter Ego. It has a civilian trait, which is pretty interesting because like I guess it's like these people like his fans. Exhaust Wonder Man and then choose. You can either tuck one event with the printed energy resource from your discard pile under the Ionic Physiology, or you can draw a card. So one cost to draw a card, that's like kind of the floor, right? That's always consistently something you could do. I think that is a very nice alter ability to have. There's a lot of cards that have a similar type of thing. Like Professor from Cable has this. Um, Venom with his Project Rebirth, it has an option for you to draw a card as well, or like to heal 3 damage. So I think draw one card is a very nice floor to have. You guys all voted for no, yeah. So we'll just keep the identity card um, Starstruck for the ranking here. Yeah, so Wonder Fans. Yeah, I think it's better than most aspect cards. Yeah, because I mean I'm just thinking about the floor here, right? It has to be at least B tier because in aspect cards you have like Mora McTaggart, and she's like whenever you flip, you can draw a card, but she's 2 cost. So like Wonder Fans is like directly better than that, right? Because you can only use an alter ego, and that's better than like requiring you to flip and you draw 1 card for 1 cost. So I think that this is like just strictly better than Mora. Um, yeah, so minimum B tier. Now we have to evaluate here. How good is it to be able to tuck an event with the printed energy in your discard pile under Ion Physiology? I don't know if that's as useful. I feel like that's a niche ability. I mean, it's gonna be good whenever you really need to tuck a card, but maybe not so good when you don't need to tuck a card, right? So let me see, shares tab here. I think it goes into B tier. I feel like it's solid. It's better than aspect cards. I don't think it's amazing, but I could totally be wrong. I'm very open to being wrong for this. So I want to see what you guys think. Um, yeah, I'm very, very open. I could easily be like way off on this, depending on how one man plays, and we'll know more whenever can actually play him. But where, where's let me write this poll. Do you want to move my ranking for Wonder Fans? So we'll go no, yes, bump to A, yes, drop to C. Let's see what you guys vote for on that. I wonder if you guys are gonna move all my rankings here. Um, Evan Baywolf says we should rate Cam at the end. Ooh, I don't know how to add it right now, but we can definitely rank Cameo and just like say where you guys would have it. But this is a power ranking tier list here, so I'm not sure if you guys if Cameo is gonna rank up that high. But I'm definitely down for that. I will do a poll for you guys to rank Cameo. MCG says attack, flip down, refill once, next turn refill again. Yeah, if you attack, you lose all your tuck cards. You flip down, you get a tuck card, and the next turn you stay in Alter Ego, so you get another tuck card, so you can have at least 3 attack going back up. So, I mean, that could be a good use for it. I'm just not sure how often we want to do that instead of drawing a card, because drawing a card is nice. MCG says, I think B tier is fair, but I think the ceiling is really high for Wonder fans with optimization. Yeah, I agree. I think that it has a good ceiling. I just feel like I just don't know how easy it will be for us to hit that ceiling with this card. Like if it's gonna be like most of the time we're able to like get the tech card and like really get a lot of value out of that, that could definitely rank it higher. But most of the time, like if we don't need that and we would rather draw instead, I think it's just gonna be at the floor, which is like in the B tier here. So looks like everyone, 100% of you guys voted no. Okay, so you guys agree with the B tier for Wonder Fans. Okay, so yeah, I'm Wonder Fans. I think it's a cool card, but yeah, overall, I think it's a higher ceiling. But I think that I feel like most of the time it's just gonna be drawing a card. I feel like that's what I'm usually gonna be doing with Wonder Fans. And with the other heroes, I usually pick. I feel like I pick the other one a lot, right? Like with Cable, with Professor, I usually pick the one to get a side scheme. And then with Venom, I'm being a heal. I think is massive, right? The 3 healing with Project Rebirth. So yeah, I feel like yeah, I don't know. I feel like the other effect may not be as good as drawing a card. Alexi says Wonder Fans in combination with sunglasses is great, as you can select the card you want. Yeah, true. True. Yeah, sunglasses. Let's jump over to sunglasses. It's another alter ego card for him. Well, a form flipping card. So since your sunglasses is a one cost upgrade, after you change form, you can choose. You can get this ability here after you change forms, and immediately like do a Wonder Fans thing here. You can tuck a card from either your hand or from discard pile under the Ionic Physiology. So yeah, you guys voted no, 86% of the votes here. So let's end this poll. And then chat, first person to say any card here is we're gonna rank. I'm gonna have chat do their turn to rank Wonder Man's next card. So whatever cards you guys say, that's the one that we do next. Out, we're just gonna do that card. Evan Baywell says, add a card, probably only when you will have a way to play that card and it's something that you absolutely need. Yeah. Yeah. Alexi, talking about signature sunglasses. Yeah, let's do the other card that Nelson got, guys, and then we can talk a little bit more about the card. How strong is signature sunglasses? And my homie also says sunglasses here. So let's do S-A. Yo, I have no clue where that's going to rank this card. Okay, so I started the poll here. Let's take a look at this card. Okay, one cost upgrade. So it's after you change form, it's a response. So you can do this from alter ego to hero form or hero to alter ego. So this is kind of Wonder Man's like these two cards are like his biggest thing of why he wants to flip down. I already planned on a build where I'm not flipping at all with him because he gets healing, right? Like let's not forget he can heal a lot from the Iron Physiology because each time you play an event with the energy and you tuck it, you get to heal a damage from your identity. So like I thought that he's tanking it to just kind of stay up in hero form, like take hits. But this card here, I mean, this is a compelling reason to flip down, right? So you can choose one effect after you change form. You can either tuck an event or a resource card with a printed energy resource from discard pile under the Ion Physiology, or you can add a card tuck under Ion Physiology to your hand. So being able to grab that card to your hand, I think it's pretty nice because sometimes the cards are stuck there. Like before we saw this card for Ionic Physiology, my biggest worry with Wonder Man, I don't want to tuck really good cards there because they'll go into my disc, or because if I deck out, they'll go into my discard pile if they ever get discarded, and I have to wait a whole other deck cycle. Sorry, I can't speak. A whole other deck cycle to get it back into my deck to draw that card back up again. So the cards are kind of lost once they go under the Ion Physiology here. But with the sunglasses here, you actually have the option to grab that to your hand, which is pretty nice. And like at I mean, at worst, you're getting a card to your hand to use as a resource as well, which is pretty nice. And then with Wonder Fans, like what Alexei is saying, you can like do a combo here. You can choose an event and then play that event on the flip up to hero form because you get it back to your hand. So I feel like that's probably like the ideal line to really maximize this card. Um, I feel like just tucking a card is not as good of an effect. It's kind of similar to like the Wonder Fans here, but like worse because you have to change form versus this, you can just use it in alter ego whenever you want, right? So if you change form, you're gonna be an alter ego at some point change form. So like the first effect, I don't think is as good, but it's only one cost. So to have the potential for the second effect is really nice for just the one cost. It's definitely a difficult one to rate. Oh, you guys are saying S tier. Oh my, okay. We have 33% of the votes S tier, 33 A tier, and then the rest is gonna be tied for B and C. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Beowulf says, take into consideration when you are going to play the sunglasses. Probably you will play the Avengers Mansion, Helicarrier, and Quincarrier before Sunglasses. Yeah, so are you trying to say that it's gonna be a little bit lower than, what we think it is because we're prioritizing other stuff first? I think I don't think I disagree with that. I feel like that's a fair take. Like, I'll probably prioritize other stuff more. But thing is, it's only one cost. So I feel like if there's a turn where I have to play like some sort of event to like manage the board state, right? And then I have the mansion and the sunglasses left in my hand, I'll probably just throw away the mansion to play the sunglasses and just get rid of my hand and draw it up to like, a fresh hand size, at the end of player phase versus like holding on both those cards. So like if it was two costs, I would say, okay, yeah, like maybe I won't have opportunity to play, but one cost is just so cheap. That's like dirt cheap. Um, Let me see where we would chat. Andrew says, "Oh, well, welcome to the chat, Andrew. Not likely. Sunglasses cost one. The others cost minimum three. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I agree with that. I feel like that's kind of how I see that too. Like, yes, the other ones are better, and if I have the luxury and the breathing room to play either one, I would definitely pick like a miniature or queen care over the sunglasses. But if I'm dealing with a lot of pressure, I think sunglasses has a way easier chance of getting played because it's just so much cheaper. Where's the vote here? Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do here, we have 33% of the vote in S and 33 in A, so it's tied up. But we have 17B, 17C. So I think the only fair thing is to put it in the A tier here, because it's tied up, but we have some people, like a lot of people voting in the B or C tier. So with chat's turn, we're gonna put the sunglasses in the A tier. So let's share this tab here. Sunglasses, signature sunglasses going into A tier for an amazing card. And I'm gonna do another poll. Where do you guys have it in the A tier? See, signature sunglasses goes where in A? Let's see, above Starstruck, behind Starstruck, or last. And we'll see where you guys put that with your turn. Bill says one cost helps definitely, but not a priority, I think. If you have no cards under, you can only add a card to it. Yeah, to that. Yeah, I think what you're saying is if you have no cards under the Ionic Physiology, you can only add a card to Ionic Physiology, which isn't as good. And that doesn't do anything on itself. Yeah, it just gives Wonderman the +1 attack, which isn't like the greatest thing. I think that you definitely, yeah, I think that its effect, it's kind of a combo card, right? Like it's gonna combo with Wonder Fans. You need this to really like combo off, and once you get that flowing, I think its potential is very, very high. But by itself, I don't think it's that good by itself, though. Let's share the poll here again. Where are you guys voting? So we have the majority of vote, 60% voting for last, and 20% in the other ones. Yeah, so I think we just put it last tier in the A tier. And then let me rank a card here. So with 7 cards left, let's share heroes here. Um, should I rank this other new card? Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and rank the card, the identity card. What are you? It's a 2-cost upgrade that the community groups got to review here for Wonder Man. So it's a superpower. Force interrupt when Wonder Man would be defeated, instead set his hit points to 4. Change him to, oh, this is forced. Oh yeah, I guess we would be defeated. It's nice to like save you from that, right? So you have to do it, but it's just whenever you would die. You instead don't die. Go to 4 life. Change into alter ego form. You may tuck events with that printed energy from your discard pile under the Ionic Physiology until there are 3. Remove this card from the game. So this card is actually kind of nice if you can like actually plan yourself to like die. Because if you get like a full 3 cards here, you make a basic attack, swing for 4, you lose all the cards, but maybe you know the villain has to retaliate and they're gonna kill you for sure. Or you can proc the force interrupt and what are you? Immediately like die, you know, get back up to 4 life and then fill up back up to the 3 cards on the Ionic Physiology and potentially swing again for 4. So like that could be really good. But other than that, it's just kind of like a let me save you one more time, like save you from dying, and then like you get to fill out on your energy on the Ionic Physiology. So I think overall it's a pretty good card. I think it's one of the better what do we call it? One of the better revival cards in the game, just because it's only 2 costs, right? Like once again, it's the cost that really makes a lot of Wonder Man's cards like crazy good. Because like maybe the effect isn't insane, but the cost is just super duper cost efficient, right? So being able to just get this upgrade down the table, and you just like you're just safe from dying. Like that allows you to be more reckless, being up in hero form, allows you to take more hits to the face without blocking the allies. I think it just gives you a lot of breathing room to play like more recklessly. Like how I love playing with Spider-Man because I know AMA can heal me. Well, this is kind of like just gonna prevent you from dying, right? So I feel like it's a pretty good card. I'm gonna rank it. Let's jump back to tier list here. I'm gonna rank What Are You in Amazing. I think it's way better than aspect cards and way better than the majority of identity revival cards, right? I think it goes. I think it's above Starstruck, right? I think it is. I think it's above Starstruck because Starstruck, I feel like Starstruck with Mr. Hollywood in play is S tier. But without Mr. Hollywood in play, it's almost like B or C, right? So you guys ended up putting it in the A tier, but I feel like it's kind of conditional. Versus I feel like the What Are You, that's just like a really good revival card that's always gonna help you out, and it's easy to play because only 2 costs. So I feel like that's where it goes for me. Yeah, I'm gonna use my turn to put What Are You in the A tier, and then let's start a poll here, and then I'll catch up on chat. Let's see. What's it called? How strong is What Are You? Let's see what chat says here. So we'll go S, A, or B. Yeah, and then basically, if you vote for B, then you will. No, sorry. If you vote for A, then that means that you guys don't skip your turn. You guys agree with me. If you vote for S or B, then chat will skip their turn to bump the card up or down, wherever that ends up going. Okay, let me see here. Let me see. Ooh, sorry guys. I fell behind here on chat. Okay. Beowulf says it's a B tier for me. I think he's talking about the glasses, right? S tier 100%. So Beowulf says, "What are you?" is S tier because look at the cost. Yeah, 2 costs is really nice for that. Let's see. MCG says, "I think this card is really good against the tougher matchups in the game." Yeah, yeah, it's really nice to have that, like, on demand, like, against Ronin or, like, a rare difficult villain that may have, like, overkill, like, surprise overkill. This will, like, help you against that. It'll enable that last little bit you often need, yeah. Against lower tier villains, it's middling. Yeah, I think against the lower tier villains, you may not ever even need to play this card, so it's not that big a deal at all. But yeah, definitely gets the higher difficulty scenarios. It's very good. MCG says solid A tier. Okay. Alexi says, yeah, I think that's the cheapest panic button in the game. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, Captain America has his helmet, which we took a look at for the last stream. But the helmet, I mean, it's 1 cost, but it's way worse than this card because your hit point goes to 1 right after you get the revival, which is, I mean, you may just die again right after. Andrew says, agreed. Okay, cool. I'm glad you guys agree with the A tier here. Beowulf says, look, the cost of the other cards that do the same and don't give plus attack and more than 1 hit point. Yeah, right, because you get to refill the Iron Physiology to get some attack as well. Yeah, yeah, agreed. MCG says, I will place it below Starstruck, but above Wonder Man. I will place it below Starstruck. Okay, I see, I see. So like one card under where I put him. MCG says, but I'm really high. Yeah, I know you're really high on Starstruck. Yeah, I mean Starstruck could be as good as you're saying it is. It just depends on how often you're able to get more damage off of it and how consistent the stun is. Okay, so you guys voted 71% of you guys agree with me to keep Wonder Man the What Are You in the A tier. So we're just gonna keep it here where I put my ranking. And then chat's gonna go next. So let me know down in chat, guys. First person to comment a card. We're gonna be doing a that card here for chat. So I'm gonna start a poll. First card, guys. Whoever says the first thing in chat. We have 6 cards left here. We have the Iron Physiology and his Alter Ego card, and we have like 4 more of Wonder Man's cards. Ooh, MCG says Simon Williams. Okay, so we're gonna rank the Alter Ego side of him next. Let's start a poll here. How strong is Wonder Man's Alter Ego? All right. Now let's do the poll options. All right, let's take a look at the Alter Ego card here, guys. Share this tab. Okay, so let's zoom in here. He has 3 recovery, hand size of 6, 12 hit points. So, a regular stat, but extra hit points. So that's pretty nice. Civilian trait here. Not too useful right now, but what we have in the game. Ionic Energy Being. You may include events with the printed energy resource icon from any aspect in your deck. So it opens up deck building a lot, but it has to be only events. And the setup is to put the Ionic Physiology in play. So I don't know if the setup is even considered to be like anything good because like this is like basically like a different card itself. But yeah, I mean, to have that as a part Wonderman, that's kind of what the alter ego would do, right? So he kind of has a blank ability right after turn one, right? But the setup there in the deck building, he influences that a lot. So how good is it to have 12 hit points through recovery and just a really good and solid like setup ability, but not necessarily in deck building ability, but not necessarily something that you can actually use in the games, right? Like this really reminds me of Cable, because Cable, similar stat line, 12 hit points, but I think Cable has 4 recovery, and Cable also has 2 abilities in Alter Ego, but none of them actually work in the game, right? They're either your deck building ability, where you can include players' side schemes from any aspect in your deck, so very similar to the Ionic Energy Being, and with the setup, you can put any player's side scheme straight into play, similar to putting the Ionic Physiology in play. So very, very similar abilities there. But I think Cable setup it's the most consistent setup in the game to get any player side team because that means you can get any card that you want. So that's a little bit different, but we'll see what you guys say here. So Invited Homie says access to bombs away in all decks is pretty good. Oh yeah, the aggression event bombs away. I don't know that event is that good though. I hate how you have to exhaust like an aerial character itself in order to do that. But the AoE is very nice to have. I agree with that for sure, though. MCG says, I think the strength of the setup should be measured as part of Ionic Physiology's power. See Alter Ego. Oh, yeah. I can definitely see that. I think that Ionic Physiology is its own card that we're going to rank later. But I think that to have it connect to Wonder Man, like that's what his whole kit's about, is kind of the Alter Ego. So I'm not really sure. It's definitely up for debate how we want to evaluate that. So I'll just go with whatever chat says here. With 50% of the vote here, ranking Wonder Man's alter ego in B tier. So I'm gonna let the poll run a little bit longer, but I think that's where I'll end up putting him for you guys. Andrew says, I look at it not as setup, but used during the game. The 3 recovery not so good. Yeah, I mean 3 recovery is like the norm though, so I don't really mind it. Yeah, like the thing is, I don't hate 3 recovery. I think I've seen D20 say that ending with 3 recovery, he feels like it's bad because we have like 4 recovery and 5 recovery heroes. For me though, I don't see it that way. I just see 3 as like good, like decent, right? And then like 4 is like very good. And 5 is like out of the norm. Like very few heroes have 5 or higher. So like 4 to me is like very good and 3 is like awesome, 3 recovery to me is like 2 Thor. It's kind of like the average. And then like if you have 1 Thor, I feel like that's worse than having 3 recovery. I don't know if you guys see that in a similar way. But yeah, that's kind of my take on that. Okay, so you guys voted yes. So we have even more votes here for the B tier. So yeah, for chat's turn, they're going to you guys are going to rank the alter ego in the B tier here. And then do you guys want it in front or behind Wonder Fans? I'm doing our poll. Let me see. We'll do alter ego better than Wonder Fans. And where you guys vote for this is where we'll put the Simon Williams card. Okay, let's see what we got here. MCG says, how many heroes have 3 recovery? I feel like I have no clue, to be honest. I would guess 45. Like if I had to guess on top of my head, I'll say 45 heroes have 3 recovery. Right? I feel like not that many have 4 or higher, right? Okay, off the top of my head, like Miles Morales has 4, Cable has 4, Spider Ham I think has 5, X-23 and Wolverine have 6. So that's 5 heroes. Maybe there's more that have 4 that I'm not thinking of actually. Oh, Captain Marvel has 4 too, right? So that's like already 6 with 4. I don't know. I feel like I would guess maybe I'll say 40. 40 to 45 heroes have at least a recovery. That's completely a wild guess there, so I'm not sure. MCG says, yeah, cool, the vast majority. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. You guys are all voting 100% of the votes here for no to keep the alter ego behind Wonder Fits. I think I agree with that. I think I would agree. Yeah, so I'm not going to skip my turn. I think that that's a fair spot for him because, like, it's not terrible, right? Some alter egos are like terrible. Take like Bruce Banner for example. You know, he has a terrible alter ego with like 5 hand size. The ability gets you up to 6, but you discard another card. I'd rather just have the 6 hand size anyways. And like freedom with deck building and stuff like that. So yeah. But I think that he's not great. Like if you can generate resources or anything on top of that, that's like really good for an alter ego. So okay, so I'm gonna do my turn next. I have 5 cards to rank here. Share this tab. Okay, I think I want to rank his resource card. Oh, Energy Siphon. So here interrupt when you spend this card, take up to 3 damage. This card generates 1 additional energy resource for each damage taken this way. Okay, that's really good, guys. That's really good. So like the floor is it's just a 1 energy resource, which is good because then you have options. I think that's one thing Wonderman is that he has a lot of options because if I compare it to like a double resource, right? Sometimes I am using double resource with only 1 resource if I don't have anything to spend it on. So like that's fine. But if I take 1 damage, this is a double resource. But it has the potential for me to take 3 damage and be a quadra resource. A quadra resource, guys, is crazy. But one thing to know is that if you want this to generate more than 1 resource, you have to be in hero form because it's a hero interrupt. So this does not work in alter ego, but you can still spend the 1 resource here in alter ego. I think that comparing this to like a card like Band Together in leadership, Band Together has no printed resource icons. So I think that the fact that this has at least 1 icon in it is really good because it means that the floor at worst, you can just use it as a resource. It gives you the option to just use it as a single resource, but the potential to use it as a quadra resource. And especially on turn 1, that's super good tempo. And with Wonder Man, who's healing with the Ionic Physiology and who has 12 hit points, this card, like, I mean, he's one of the best heroes that can use this type of card, right? Spider-Man Peter Parker would probably be even better, right? Because anime so much. But like Wonder Man is definitely a great contender for this card with the healing here and the 12 hit points. So yeah, I think this is a really good card. Actually, I don't know if I thought this through. I think it's S tier for oops, wrong card, not that card. I think this is S tier for sure. Is it better than Mr. Hollywood? Oh man. That's tough. I think it's not as good as Mr. Hollywood. I think I'm gonna go Mr. Hollywood because if I had to pick 1 card to take out of his kit, it would like one of these 2 cards. I would take out the resource card because Mr. Hollywood. If I take this card out, all of his events just drop down a tier. So for that reason, I think that Mr. Hollywood like solidifies his kit, and Energy Siphon is very good for any other hero, but it's not going to be as good as Mr. Hollywood, especially for Wonder Man. And we are kind of ranked these cards, for Wonder Man. So, let me see what you guys say about that. Does chat want to skip turn to move Energy Siphon? So we're gonna say no, and then we'll say yes. Move bump in front of Mr. Hollywood. So bump in front of the S tier, even though it's already in S tier, or yes, bump down to A. So like you guys can basically, if you want to, you guys can skip your turn to just move this card up 1 to have it be like the best card in Wonder Man's kit. Or you can just vote no and keep it there, or vote yes to move it down to A. Yeah. So I'm not sure what you guys think, but I think that for any other hero, Energy Siphon is better than Mr. Hollywood. But for Wonder Man, Mr. Hollywood is the card for him. So like it's not really saying that Energy Siphon is bad because I think it's really good. But Mr. Hollywood is just even better, right? Like this is a card that Wonder Man really needs to get his kit going, in my opinion. Alexi says the best feeling in the game will be playing an Avengers Mansion on turn 1 with Energy Siphon. Yeah, right. Even better, right? Energy Siphon, Nick Fury, draw you 3 cards, and then Energy Siphon like another copy of it for a mansion. So then you get Nick Fury and a mansion down the table. Okay, so that's like what? 4 effective resources, but you're drawing 3 cards with Nick and you're drawing 1 more card with the mansion. So like if you have a 6 card hand size, you go up to 10, you lose 4. Yeah. So basically if you're so lucky to get Nick Fury, mansion, and 2 energy siphons on turn 1, you can play Nick Fury and the mansion and then have 6 cards in your hand. What? Like that's crazy, guys. You can play Nick Fury and mansion and still end up with 6 cards. Sure, your hit points is now at 6, right? Because you took 3 damage 2 times. So like you have to take some damage. But I mean, you just heal that back up, right? Like you can play like endurance to get like extra 3 life there. And so 4 cards in your hand to play something else. You can play like a Queen Carrier into like an endurance, right? Then you got Nick, Mansion, Queen Carrier, and then your life's at 9, right? So you took 3 damage for that. Like that's pretty insane. So I think it's definitely worth taking damage, especially on turn 1 for the high tempo there. So yeah, very, very bonkers. Invited Homie says, yeah, they agree with like, Mansion with Energy Siphon's really good, especially in turn 1. MCG says, that's hilarious. A new thing for me to look forward to. Yeah, that's bonkers, guys. Bonkers. That's really good. So you guys voted no. Chat's not going to skip their turn to move the Energy Siphon, so we'll just keep it here in the S tier, right behind Mr. Hollywood. Okay, so chat's turn next. We have 4 cards left, guys. First person to shout out a card, that's the card that we're going to rate here for chat. So which card do you guys want to do next? I just wait for the first person to say a card. We have the Ionic Physiology. We have the Thord event. Was active altruism. We have the Ionic Blast. The other attack event. I think that's the main like damaging attack event. And with the Jet Belt here. The belt. Yeah, Invite Homie says the belt. I think that's the more interesting card of the rest of these. So let me start a poll and then actually let's jump over to Hall of Heroes here. Card. And I'll start a poll here for you guys. Jet Belt's a very interesting card for sure. I think that's the most interesting card of the ones that we have left here. How strong is Jet Belt? So we got S, A, B, C. All right, let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, so Jet Belt is a 2-cost upgrade. Item and tech, hero resource. You can exhaust the belt to generate an energy resource for an event. Okay, so this is a nice resource generator, but only for events. But Wonder Man's thing is he has options, right? So the option here is as a hero resource, you can exhaust the Jet Belt and discard a card tucked under the Ionic Physiology to generate a energy resource for anything. So one thing to know for this is that both of these resources can be used to pay for cards and to overpay, right? Like Mr. Hollywood's only for overpay. This works for anything. But this one it's free for an event for 2 cost. But this one is for anything if you can discard tuck card under the Ionic Physiology. So one cool thing with the second option here is actually don't need it for the second one. But what I was thinking was if you use this to generate energy resource, for an event and it's an energy resource event, you can tuck it right back under Ionic Physiology again. But you don't ever need to do that because if it's for an event, you can always use the first option for that. So normally, if it's 2 costs to generate energy resource, but the restriction of is only an event, I don't think it's that crazy. Because Gamora, I think her resource generator is only 1 cost and does the same thing, but it's a wild resource. So like that's better, right? The Gamora card's better than the first effect. But to have the option to do a second effect to be a universal resource generator, I think that makes it pretty good. And for 2 cost here, I mean, yeah, 3 cost would make it bad because then it's like worse than Queen Carrier, which can just always do, a universal resource. So let's see. Invite Homie says belt slightly stronger than Ingenuity. Slightly stronger than Ingenuity. No, right? Isn't this worse than Ingenuity? I think Ingenuity is better, right? Oh, I see what you're saying. Because Ingenuity, you can only play most of the time in Alter Ego when you have the Genius trait. You can play Jet Belt at any time. I personally think Ingenuity is better though. I think that it's debatable for sure. I think for Ingenuity, I like that it's restrictive of how I want to play it, but once I have it on a table, it's a universal mental resource generator that I can use like anytime in hero form, alter ego form, whatever I want. Versus the Jet Belt, I can play in any time, right, in alter ego or hero form. But once it's down on the table, it's restricted to hero form only because it's a hero resource. But also, if I want it to be free, it's only for events, and I have to lose a tuck card to have it be universal, but still only hero form. So I mean, Ingenuity is a really good card though, so that goes pretty high. But yeah, I think Jet Belt is very similar to it. Okay, 83% you guys voting A tier. So I think we're gonna end the poll here. A tier is where we put the Jet Belt. So let's share the tab here. A tier is low. A tier, I mean, is loaded. Where you guys want the Jet Belt? So we're gonna do. It's gonna be hard for me to word this poll here. How we word this poll, guys? Where does Jet Belt go in A tier? Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'll do like first spot, second spot, third spot, fourth spot, right? And then I don't have 4 options, but I don't think anyone's gonna put it on the last spot because I feel like it's better than some of these cards. So first spot will be, right here in the A tier, like number 1 card. This would be second spot, third spot, and then fourth spot. And then if the majority is voting for the fourth spot, then I'll have another poll to see if you guys want to put it in the fifth spot right here in the very last spot. But we'll see what you guys say. Jack Bell says, great to have cards that have options. Yeah. That's one of the cool things about Wonder Man. I think he's very flexible. Although some of his cards aren't as powerful, the fact that you have options for each one gives him so much flexibility, right? Like his events being able to choose to overpay or not overpay to get more effects off of it. The Jet Belt being able to generate resources for an event at all times. But also, if you need it for like an ally and you're not playing an event that turn, you can still do it if you discard a card from the Ionic Physiology, right? So very, very nice to have the option. Same with like the Wonder Fans giving you another option there, an alter ego of what you want to do. Dead X Pool, welcome to chat. You probably made it to one of these streams. Yeah, dude. Welcome to the chat. We're near the end here, but we still have 3 more cards. I know you've been commenting how you've been missing these streams. I'm not sure how YouTube is notifying you guys, but I'm glad you're able to join one here. Huge welcome to the chat for Dead X Pool here. Let's see. What are you guys voting? You guys are voting 67% of the votes here for the third spot. So you guys are voting to put Jetbell right here behind Starstruck and in front of Wonder Man's hero card. I feel like Yeldrin's probably going for that, right? Because I know Yeldrin loves Starstruck, so probably behind Starstruck. But it seems like you guys agree with that. I'm gonna let the poll run a little bit longer here, but yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. I don't know. How do you guys feel about? I was so hot on Wonder Man. I feel like as we're looking at his cards more, I feel like I'm like overestimating how strong he is. Because now I feel like maybe he's not as strong as I thought. But maybe it's because we're looking at the cards individually. Thing is, they're still all pretty high. Like A tier, I think is pretty good. But only 2 S tier cards here. It's a little bit surprising. But I mean, we're not done yet. We still have 3 more cards left. He kind of feels like more restrictive than I thought almost. Like I know he has a lot of flexibility. But the thing with the Ionic Physiology, I feel like we have to play really around that and get those tough cards. So we have 50% of the vote here on second spot and 50% on third spot. So I'll just wait a little bit to see where you guys put that. But I don't think I'm moving this card either way. I think A tier is a good spot for it. And honestly, it's debatable where it should go in the A tier. So yeah, I think that's a fair spot. We have 3 cards left. After you guys rank this card, it's gonna be my turn. I don't know what I'm gonna rank. Let me take a look at it now. And then while I let the poll run a little bit longer, I'll see what I want to rank. So we still have the Ionic Physiology, the upgrade here. We have the Ionic Blast, and we also have his. What are the cards left? The active altruism. Oh, the Thord event. Oh, okay. This one's hard. I think I'm gonna leave this for you guys to rank because I don't know where I want to put this. I think I'm gonna do the Thord event. I'm gonna rank Thord event next here. Alexi says, I don't think it would be so damaging to base attack every so often and lose attack cards as he has so many ways to refill. Yeah. I think that's a good point. Especially that he's able to refill like with the new cards that were previewed. He has the Wonder Fans, right? Wonder Fans down here. And the signature sunglass can also help you refill, right? So I think having more options here to refill. And this also actually all the cards that were reviewed for Wonder Man allow him to refill those events. So maybe it's not as bad of a cost for the Jet Belt even to discard tech card to generate the universal energy resource. Dead Expo says, when Hercules was announced in his card books, Wonder Man seems super interesting as well, but Hercules going on side quest sounds fun to me. Yeah, it's tough. So like I'm hyped for Wonder Man because I feel like he's very I like how the overpaying mechanic works in Marvel Champions, and I like having a hero that revolves around that. So I really like that part of Wonder Man. The labors for Hercules looks awesome, and I'm super hyped on that. I just feel like the reward is lackluster. And if you guys have like, if you guys know me and like my personality, I love having like big rewards. So like for like campaigns, I sometimes feel like the campaign rewards are like a little bit lackluster. And I feel like the villains in the campaigns, like scenarios, get like big rewards. I really want the villains to have a good reward, but I want the players to have like a crazy good reward as well. And I just don't feel like that Hercules has it. And that's like the one thing making me less hype for Hercules is that I just don't know if those rewards are good enough for me to do all that work to clear those labors for him. Okay, the poll is at 57% here voting for the third spot. Yeah, so I think chat here has it in the third spot. So third spot for Jet. One, two, three. Yeah, Jet Belt. Chat puts it in the behind Starstruck. Okay, so I'm gonna rank. Um, I'm gonna rank. What am I ranking here? Active altruism Thor event. So zero cost Thor event. Hero action Thor, remove one threat from a scheme. At worst, it's zero cost. You're just playing the card and taking out one threat. That's not bad for just playing the card. Remove two additional threat from the scheme for each energy resource that you overpay for the card. So if you pay one cost for the card, it's removing three threat. That's pretty good. That's not bad either. That's pretty good. Like one cost for three threat removal. I think that's pretty solid. And then you can pay an additional overpay, right? So two energy resources to take off five threat. So two cost authority event to move five threat. That's also solid, right? Those are all solid numbers all throughout. So if it was just that, I would say it's better than aspect cards because we're going to do 2 for 5 is better than aspect card. 1 for 3 better than aspect card. 0 for 1 debatable. But I mean the option that you can do that, I think it makes it better than aspect card. So it will at least go in B tier. But with Mr. Hollywood generating a free overpay, per card, makes this floor always the lowest will be overpaying at least once. So like zero cost free dart removal is insane, and one cost for 5 is like just stupidly good. So I think it's better than B because B is if you don't have Mr. Hollywood in the kit, but at the same time you need Mr. Hollywood for it to go like with Mr. Hollywood, it's S tier, right? I think being able to pay one cost to take 3 threat, and then, or sorry, playing the card for free to remove 3 threat, that's S tier level, and paying one cost to remove 5 threat, that's S tier level. So its potential is S, its floor is B. So I think A is the only fair thing I can do with this card. So I feel like I think it's better than Jet Belt. I think it's a pretty good Thor event. It goes around here with Starstruck, I think. I like it more than Starstruck, guys. Sorry for Yodrin, who I know is really big on Starstruck. I feel like the active altruism goes here. Or does it even go here? It's a really solid Thor event. Um, like its floor is not terrible and can be useful, but its ceiling is just very good. I'm gonna put it above the what are you the revival card, right? No, okay, I'm put it behind the revival card because I feel like we can compare this strictly to other revival cards that other identities have, and this is like one of the best ones. I feel like we compare this to other Thor events, like I'm thinking about like Spider-Man Miles Morales with Swingin. Like Swingin's 2 for 4, you get a tough and a confuse. So like I think it's still better than a majority of Thor events that other identities have. But I think getting kickers with those other effects can sometimes be better than this. So I think it's very good, but it's just Thor numbers at the end of the day. Really efficient Thor numbers with flexibility, which is nice, but no other like extra effect. I do like it more in Starstruck though. Starstruck has like the stun, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see what you guys say. Uh, oh wait, let me start a poll here for you guys first. So start a poll, and then you want to skip chat's turn to move the Thor event. Would you no? Yes, bump to S, and then yes, drop. Let's see what you guys say on that. Okay, let me catch up here on the chat, guys. Uh, okay, Xavier Monroe, I finally made it to another chat. Welcome, dude. In my opinion, Wonder Man is good, not great, not S, but maybe mid A. Are you talking about the identity card, or are you talking about his kit overall? But we won't know for sure until we see how his cards work together. Yeah, I think that this is just kind of like a speculative stream. We don't know for sure how it's going to work until we see all the cards together. Alexi says he's also very event driven. So every time you play an event, you tuck it and keep the engine. Oh yeah, yeah, good point, good point. Right, this is a Thor event with energy resource that you can tuck under the ionic physiology. So that's also gonna get that going too, and it's free to play. So he really wants those cheap Thor event or cheap events, period, to tuck underneath the ionic physiology the moment you play them. Right, so that's even more of a bonus for the card. Very good point. Alexa says, but we will see if it all works in practice. Yeah, I think we have to see how it works in practice. He's one of those heroes that It's so different and unique. We have to see how it actually plays before knowing how good it's going to be. Andrew says, totally agree. Hercules rewards are not worth it. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, he has more cards coming up, so maybe that can like be something better for him. But right now, he looks a little bit lackluster, a little bit weaker. He looks like weaker than Thor, like kind of similar in like their hand sets and stuff, but like a little bit not as good as Thor though. Dedex Pool says, I agree. Hercules looks kind of weak. Just taking forever to build out. Yeah, yeah. Like I like the mechanic of the labors a lot. I think it's really cool. I think it's really fun thematically. I just wish that he had more rewards. Yeah, just big rewards would be really nice. Yeah. Alexi says, yeah, I'm worried about Hercules' quest being too tough in certain scenarios. Yeah, especially if like, I mean, if Ronan's swinging down at me, 2 times a turn with like 12 damage, 12 attack hits per turn, like I can't deal with these side quests right now, like these labors. I have to like deal with Ronan. He's about to kill me. So okay, so you guys, 100% of you guys voted no, that you're not gonna skip your turn to move my Thor event. Okay, cool. So we're gonna put the active archers in right there. Okay, so chat, which card you guys want to rank next? The first person to say either Ionic Physiology or the Ionic Blast. That's the last card that chat will rank. So I'm just gonna let you guys say the card, and first person to say the card is the one that we'll do here. Let me end this poll. Xavier Monroe says, based on what we've seen so far, I think Wonder Man is much better than Hercules. Yeah, I agree with that. In terms of power, we don't know if Hercules might be fun though. But he has more cards to be reviewed, so we still have to wait and see. Yeah. Next week we're gonna find out about Hercules cards, and I'll do our live stream, and we'll like rank all Hercules cards and talk about all the new cards that were reviewed, and if they like change his kit a lot, and like what we think about his kit and like what he's doing. So yeah, I think for now, we have like a pretty good understanding of Wonder Man's kit. We just need to know if it meshes like how we think it's gonna mesh, right? Guys, which card you guys are gonna rank next? The Ionic Blast or the Ionic Physiology? I'm still waiting on anyone in chat to say anything. You guys don't say anything, and then I'll just do a poll, I think, and then you guys can vote on who you want to rank next for chat. Um, but yeah, I mean Wonder Man so far he has very like high cards here. We like only two in the B tier, everything's an A, and then like two in S. So that's pretty crazy. He has like a pretty good curve on his cards. So that's interesting. Alexis says Hercules is likely going to be way better as a multiplayer hero, as your partner can help deal with threats while you chill doing side quests. Yeah, yeah. It's like you're just doing your own thing, and then the other groups are actually playing the scenario for you until you get powered up from doing the labors, right? I think I totally agree. Like Hercules is going to be a lot stronger in multiplayer because he has more breathing room. Dead Exposed says, I agree. I also think Hercules having leadership precon is interesting. Yeah, I don't really know too much about the character. I only saw him in the MCU. He's played by the guy that was in Ted Lasso. Huge shout out to that show. That's one of the best shows ever, guys. If you guys have not seen Ted Lasso, really good show. But yeah, that guy is like a soccer player in there, and then he plays Hercules in MCU. But like, he hasn't made an appearance since, so I don't know what's happened with that. Alexa says, then when you're powered up, you can overcompensate. Yeah. Jack Bell and Invited Homie says Blast. Okay, so chat's gonna use their last turn here to rank the Ionic Blast. Okay. Where does chat want to rank Ionic Blast? Let me just pull here for you guys. SADC. I don't think any of his cards are D tier, right? He has pretty good cards. Let's go to Ionic Blast real quick and go over this card. So this is Wonder Man's main source of damage, right? Starstruck can do a lot of damage if you can build up his attack, but unless you're playing aggression, Starstruck's usually going to be capped up at 4 damage. Versus Ionic Blast can do a little bit more than that. So one cost event, a lot of options here with this card. Here, action attack. You can do 3 damage to enemy. So you pay for this card, 1 cost for 3 damage. That's above average. That's not terrible. Then you do 2 additional damage for each energy resource that you overpay for the card up to a max of 3 energies. So you can do a potential 9 damage there, which is higher than a swing web kick, but it's going to require 1, 2, 3, 4 costs to do 9 damage. And 3 of it must be energy resources, right? So, you can do, so what the card can do is the options is you can do 1 for 3, you can do 2 for 5, you can do 3 for 7, which is underswing web kick, or you can do 4 for 9. Now, That's a little bit lower, right? Because if you look at like, 4 for 9 or 3 for 7, that's like worse than a swing web kick, which is like what every hero kind of like has the bar to like match up to. So it's not that great. But if you pay 2 for 5, that's not terrible. And 1 for 3 is not terrible. So basically, the 3 damage that you initially get is very good, but then the more that you accumulate 2 off of, it's not going to be as good. But like what we always talk about with Wonder Man, his best card, Mr. Hollywood, can generate energy resources to overpay for a card without exhausting. So if this is on the table, then you get a free overpay at least once. So that makes Ionic Blast 1 cost to do 5 damage. Okay, that's bonkers. Or 2 costs to do 7 damage, or 3 costs to do 9. And 3 costs for 9 is better than swing web kick. So yeah, and it's just strictly better because there's the versatility to be able to do less if you want to hit minions that have less hit points. So that makes it really good. So very, very strong card. Can do a lot of damage and has a flexibility to take out minions for you to pay less for the card. So that's pretty solid. Andrew says, my Wonder Man concern is dealing with villain attachments. They usually require different resources to discard true. Can Wonder Man do this when almost all of its cards are one type of resource? Yeah, right? I don't think I've noticed this. Yeah, they're almost all different type of or all energies, right? Energy's all up here. And we have the mental with the jet belt, but it's upgraded. So once you play it, you're not able to use it anymore to as a mental resource. You have to use it to generate a energy, which you already have. This is the same thing, only energies. And then what are the new cards? Energy, physical, and wild. Okay, but once again, these are like upgrades or supports in play, right? So I think the Quinn Care is going to be an all include for a Wonder Man, right? Because that's really the only way that he can generate more resources. And if you're deck building with him, including out of aspect cards, like with the Ionic Energy being here, where you can only include printed energies, in your deck from other aspects. If you're really leaning into that, you're right. He's gonna have trouble popping off those villain attachments. Alexi says, "Great point, Andrew. Yeah, I agree. I already struggle with this when playing Ironheart. Actually, tends to have a lot of mental resources. Yeah, I can see that. And I expect Wonder Man will come with even more energies. Yeah, yeah. I think he has more energies than Ironheart has mentals. Invite Homie says he's Avenger, so he'll have access to Quick Care. Totally agree. Yeah, Quick Care is very good for him. I don't play much against villains outside Civil War. Sorry, guys, I'm running out of talking ability. I don't play much against villains outside the Civil War, but I know Iron Man is just 2 separate costs to take off his attachment. Yeah, Iron Man has the cheapest ones. Um, Man, you play mostly Civil War villains? Oh, that's super interesting. I feel like most people play more of the other villains than the Civil War ones. Jack Bell says another card giving option with Mr. Hollywood boosts up a tier straight away. Yeah, yeah. Okay, 67%. The 67% of you guys voted for the A tier here for Ionic Blast. So we're gonna end that poll and let's share this tier list here. So A tier for the Ionic Blast. Okay, where does it go in the A tier, guys? I'm gonna do first spot, second spot, third spot, fourth spot again. Should I do it like that? Okay, let's do. I feel like now a lot of you guys are gonna vote in the first spot. So why don't we do second spot, third spot, fourth spot, or worse? Because I feel like that's where I would have the card, and I feel you guys would agree with me. So we'll see how that goes. If you guys don't agree, let me know down in chat, and I can do a different poll. Ionic Energy Blast goes where in tier list? So we have the second spot. Where in A tier is what I meant to say. Okay, second spot, third spot, fourth spot, fifth spot. Let's see what you guys say. Okay, where are we at with chat? Invite Homie says, what villains have attachments on them? So like even the core set, Claw has them. I think like his Sonic Converter, stuff like that. You have to spend one of each resource type to ping it off. Ultron also has that as well. Ultrons are like really annoying because a lot of them it's from the under attack module where you actually have to exhaust your hero and spend 2 like resources of a certain type. So it'd be like exhaust, spend 2 physicals to pop an attachment, or exhaust, spend 2 energies to pop it off. Waterman can definitely do the energy one, but the physical one might be a little bit difficult for him. Um, Alexi says, invited homie. Yeah, definitely when you couldn't care. Yeah, totally agree. There are a bunch of villains outside Civil War that need two of the same resource or all three. Yeah, yeah. Civil War is kind of unique because Iron Man is really the only one that does that, and Iron Man usually only needs two. Um, let's see. And Jessica, welcome to the chat. Next expansion has Kingpin. Who else? It's not confirmed, I think, but I think that like more than likely, like we're definitely gonna have Kingpin in the next expansion, but it's not confirmed. That Kingpin's gonna be there. He's just on the box, like printed there, but I think that he's probably gonna be a scenario. People looked up another one of the villains. I forgot the name that people said though. It was like another one of the arts on the box. I'm not sure who else will be there. The heroes we know it's gonna be Daredevil and Echo. Yeah, those will be two heroes in the big expansion box. The wave is gonna be for hero packs, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Elektra, and then we know we're getting the Shadowlands as a scenario pack. So I'm not sure what other villains that we're getting in the actual expansion box though. So yeah. Dead Expo says, I fat finger S tier. Alexi says, invite a homie. Magneto is the first that comes to mind, but quite a few have some of their counter sets. Yeah, Magneto has nasty ones. So you have to make a basic attack and spend one of each resource type to pop off his like helmet or his armor. MCG says, I had to take a phone call, so I missed a lot. I'm surprised that the damage and threat event are an A. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah, I just shout you out because I put the Thor event above Starstruck, and I knew that you would probably vote to be behind Starstruck. But chat did not move it. So we have Ionic Blast going in 71% of the votes in the third spot in A tier. So first, second, third. So in front of Starstruck. Oh man. Sorry, Yaj, you came back just in time for people to vote for Ionic Blast to be better than Starstruck. I don't know if I agree. It's debatable. I think you can definitely argue either way. I'm not going to move chat's ranking here. I think that's a fair spot for it. I think that if you're looking for just pure damage, Ionic Blast is always going to be better. If you're playing against Steady Star, Ionic Blast is better. But if you want to stun any villain or like minion, Starstruck is better. So it just depends which effect you want more, damage or stun. Yeah, I think that if you build around Star Trek like how I plan to, with like an aggression build, building out one man's attack, Star Trek is also going to be better in his main source of damage over the Ionic Blast in that type of build. Okay, so I'm gonna rank the last card here, guys. So the last card is Ionic Physiology. Nobody in chat wanted to rank this card. I did not want to rank this card. Um, it's my turn, and I have to rank it here. So it's a tough one. It's a permanent upgrade. You start with it and play with this alter ego ability. As a response, after you play an event with a permanent energy resource, you can tuck that event from your discard pile under this card and heal one damage from your identity. So where this and get a heal damage. So like I think the floor for his card is B tier. Never gonna be a bad card, right? Like it's not a bad thing to it's always gonna help you out, right? It's a response, not a forced response. So you never have to tuck the card if you don't want to tuck it. But if you do tuck it, you get to heal damage. So I guess how we value this card is how good, because we value the hero card already, which is like the +1 attack, like how good that is for Runner Man. So this card is not about attack, it's about how good it's going to heal one damage each time you play an event with the printed energy resource, right? I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty solid because when you play this, or this, these are all energy resources. You get to heal a damage essentially, right? So I think that that's very, very nice and useful to have to like keep one of man's hit points high. And since they're so cheap, you can play like 2 or 3 a turn and heal 3 damage a turn. So I actually feel like this is a pretty good card for that healing. I think it goes in A tier. I think it goes in A tier as well. We have a super loaded. I think goes. I think it's. I think the healing is actually really easy to build. I think it goes above. Is it even S tier, guys? Because just having this on the table, and each time you spam energy events, like deck build with him with a lot of like 0 cost, 1 cost events, you're shooting like at least 1 hit point a turn if you're constantly able to do that. That's pretty good, right? I feel that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna put it here in the A tier. Yeah, yeah. I'm a little bit surprised I have it that high, but yeah, that's where I'm gonna put it. And then let me do a poll for you guys. Okay, so do you want to move my ranking of Ionic Physiology. And this is the last ring. So this is my last ring, and you guys can use your last turn to move wherever you want. Or up or down a tier, I mean. So we'll do no, do yes, bump to S, yes, drop to B, or we'll do yes, drop lower in A. Let's see what you guys say about that. Okay, so here, let me catch up on chat, guys. Let's see. Dead Expo says Typhoid Mary. Yeah, Typhoid Mary. That's the one that everyone kept talking about. Yeah, Typhoid Mary is on the box. Thank you for shouting that out. MCG says, how do they compare to the average hero's damage and threat event? Yeah, they're above, like above average in terms of damage and door removal, and very high above if you calculate in Mr. Hollywood for the door and the damage there. So it just depends. So without Mr. Hollywood, they're still above curve. Ionic Blast starts off above and then like slowly teeters behind as you overpay more and more. But with Mr. Hollywood, it just always stays above. So it's really, really good. Same with Door Event here. Door Event, I think, is just always above. Right. Yeah, 1 cost for 3. Yeah. The Thor event's always above. But the thing is, these are only removing thwart and doing damage. There's no other effect, right? Like a lot of the other identity-specific Thor events or attack events have another kicker. Not Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man just, swing web kick does 8 damage. But like, for example, if we take a look at like, I don't know, Wolverine, tracking scent, you can remove 3 threat, but then draw 2 cards if it's the last round of scheme. Iceman, he can remove threat, place frostbite. He can do damage, place frostbite, right? So these only do that, like damage, strictly damage, or strictly threat removal. But very, very efficient at it and hyper efficient with Mr. Hollywood with it. Jack Bell says Typhoid Mary on box. Yeah, thank you for shouting that out. Dead Expo also shouted that out. MCG says I'm shambles. Sorry, dude. Yeah, I know you're really big on Starstruck, but yeah, seems like chat agrees with Ionic Blast and Authority Event having that higher. But we'll see. Whenever we actually play Wonder Man, we'll see if that's actually true with how he plays. Invited Homie says, I wonder what the average hue per turn over the course of the game will come to. Yeah, that's interesting. Because I feel like there's definitely going to be turns where you're healing 0, right? If you don't play an event, you're not healing anything, which is like pretty useless. But I feel like you want to build Wonderman in a way where he's always playing at least 1 event with the energy resource. So you're hopefully healing at least 1 per turn, which is very good. Then if you're healing 2, that's insanely good. And obviously there will be turns where you heal 3 or more. MCG says, are there cards that cost HP for effects that Ionic Physiology will enable us to use easily? Are there cards that cost HP for effects? Oh, I don't think in Wonder Man's kit. I think what you're talking about is probably his resource card. It's not a event, but when you spend it, you take damage, but you can use it to pay for an event. And when you do that, you can heal 1 back up with the Iron Physiology by tugging that event right away. So that's a nice give and take there. In terms of the aspect card events, I can't think of any off the top of my head that makes you take damage. If you guys know, let me know down in the chat. Something where you take damage to play an event. I mean, Wolverine's claws, obviously, but like that's only for Wolverine. But yeah, that's interesting. If you can actually take damage, like 1 damage or 2 damage, play energy event, and then heal it back up with the Iron Fist Dodge, that'd be really cool. Let me see here. Alexi says, I agree with that position. Okay. Will be interesting to see if you can get really explosive turns and play like 3 or 4 events. Yeah, so much value. Yep. Play events, heal, basic, attack for 4, heal some more. Yeah, for sure. Jack Bell says, being able to heal without swapping alter egos also. Yeah, that's one thing too. Like, I thought Wonder Man is going to be mostly in hero form. So I really wanted to play him in aggression, just bring up his attack stat. But then we got a bunch of alter ego cards for him with Wonder Fans, with his sunglasses, and even like the what are you? That's also like allowing to flip down for free. So now he has a bunch of alter ego stuff in his kit as well. So it's like that's just more options. But I think for how I primarily want to play him, it doesn't really help out too much with that. But that's interesting though. I think the healing does allow him to play in hero form without flipping, which is always a bonus. MCG says in the general card pool. Yeah, I'm not sure. If you guys think of anything, let me know. For like events that mean you take damage, to like play because Wonder Man might be able to heal that right back up, which is really cool. That's a really good idea. Alexi says there are a couple upgrades in aggression that allow you to ready your draw card. You take damage. True, true. MCG says I know there's a basic card I was using with Bishop the other day that damaged me to do something. Bishop. What is Bishop? Um. Oh, my connection's unstable, guys. Sorry again. But we're almost done here. I think we just finish up. And Homie says, can you build support blood gem? Uh, is it a support? I believe blood gem is an upgrade. If it's an upgrade, then you cannot. But if it's support, then you definitely can. You could bypass the missing requirement if it's a support. MCG says, oh yeah, blood gem and some of those aggression cards are exactly what I had in mind. Alexi says, clarity of purpose would be, oh yeah, clarity of purpose. Would be good too. You basically immediately refund the cost of the event. Yeah, clarity of purpose, you take a damage to generate a resource, a wild resource, which Wonderman can use to overpay as energies. Then if you can play an energy event with that, you immediately tuck it under there on physiology, heal it back up. Okay, let me end this stream here, guys, because I apologize for the viewer experience and the lag here. I think we're lagging again, but we're able to finish the stream. So I'm glad we got all the rankings here. I apologize for the lag for all you guys. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Next time, we'll make sure that we stream in a better time without a freeze coming. So do you want to move my rank of on physiology? You guys voted 57% no, so we're just gonna keep it right here in the A tier. And yeah, thank you guys for agreeing with me. Thank you so much for everyone that is joining the chat. Dead Post says, glad to make a live stream. Have a great weekend. Yeah, hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Stay safe and warm, guys. I do want to have one more poll, because I promised you guys that I would do that. So how strong is Cameo? For everyone that's left in the chat, how good of a card you guys think Cameo is? Is it S tier, A tier, B tier, or C or D? And if you guys will C or D, I'm gonna have another poll here. But this is for power ranking, guys. How strong is Cameo? Not how cool of a card it is. You know how fun it is, but how strong. We have a vote in S tier already. Wow, you guys voted S tier. You guys, it's for power ranking, guys, not funness. MCG says, I'm thinking about Weapon X. Oh, yeah, Weapon X is a good one, too. You can use it in Alter Ego, right? No. Yeah, in Alter Ego as Alter action to take a damage, get an event, but you have to build support it. Yeah, because Wonder Man's not a mutant. Let me see here with the chat. Andrew says, thanks for the stream. Hope that you do work with Hercules as well. Yeah, I definitely plan on doing Hercules, probably in like 2 weeks, I think, because yeah, because next week they're gonna be revealing all the cards for Hercules, and then after that, I do so maybe like 1.5 weeks. We'll definitely do a Hercules stream here, talk about his cards as well. MCG says, is there an Avenger version of that? There is not, I think. There's just the Mystic one, Blood Gem, and then the Weapon X for mutants. MCG says, have a great weekend. Yeah, have a great weekend, guys. Hope everyone's having an amazing Friday. I'm glad that everyone was able to join for the stream here. Alexa says, thanks for the stream. Have a good weekend. Good luck with the freeze. Thank you. Thank you. Cameo is A tier for power, SSS tier for fun. Yeah, we have like a lot of S tier votes here and A tier votes as well. So I'm pretty surprised. We have like, I think 70% of the votes here are for like S or A, which is pretty crazy because I feel like the majority of comments from people that I've seen, like on my videos, have been talking about Cameo not being very strong. But you guys here are blowing it to be pretty powerful. I think it does open some very powerful combos though. Um, Andrew says, I rated S because I want to use it with other heroes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair. Dedex Post says, I will use Cameo more for the mag vibes. Yeah, definitely a great card. Yeah, I think it's really fun for the mag vibes. I really want to try to find a way to use it mechanically for it to be really powerful. I think that's fun as well. MCG says B tier for power, S plus 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 for flavor. Yeah, I think that's what I would say for the card, like B tier for me, and then S plus 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 for flavor. Like it's like the most Marvel Champions card in the game, which I just love because like if you think about like any other card game, like no other card game, like you think about like I don't know. I don't know, like I never played well, I played like one time when I was in middle school, like Magic the Gathering, but I'm not really too knowledgeable about that. But if you're talking about like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or One Piece or like Arcana, there's no card that's like pull an out of aspect card from your collection and like put in your deck, or like pull like another card from like another deck, like an identity card. Like that's so Marvel Champions, and I love that. I feel like it's so cool that they made this card, and I'm super excited to see other setup cards like that as well in the game. But yeah, one of the coolest cards ever, guys. Like Cameo is super duper hype. I feel like Cameo alone makes Wonder Man like a must buy. Uh, MCG says, yeah, okay, I read that comment. B tier for power, S plus plus for flavor. Xavier Monroe says, do you know the release date for Wonder Man Hercules? I believe it's February 20th. Now I believe it's February 20th. Let me actually Google that real quick for you guys to make sure. Let me see, Wonder Man. Hopefully, it doesn't lag the stream when I do that. Release date. Oh my goodness, it just popped up. I forgot to type Mario Champions. January 27th is when the series released on Disney Plus, so that's coming up soon. Yeah, February 20th is the expected release date for Wonder Man and Hercules. So, coming up soon. Yeah, coming up next month. Invite Home says W stream. See ya. Thank you, man. See you later, dude. Have a good weekend. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream. I'm glad you're able to join and that you had a good time. Deadx Pool says, I love that Deadpool has a card that pulls from the collection. Wish Deadpool broke the fourth wall more. Yeah. Like, I think Deadpool is very thematic. I like his kit. I wish he broke the fourth wall more often. Like, I feel like the this card's fire is really cool. His alter ego ability called breaking the fourth wall. I don't really feel like it's breaking the fourth wall as much as I would like. Right? You're not really breaking the fourth wall. You're just truing your deck for a card, which so many other heroes can do. Yeah, I don't know. I wish he had like one more like main like the degenerative regenerate no the regenerative I shouldn't even try to say that, but yeah, I wish that his hero ability was kind of break fourth wall, but I think that a little bit as well. Percent agree. Sorry guys, I've been speaking water. I need a I need a break from speaking, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for everyone for joining the stream here. We have a pretty top heavy list here for Wonder Man. I think it's almost everything is in A tier. Two cards in a B tier. The Alter Ego actually ended up being the worst card for him, and the other card is like the Alter Ego card, right? The Alter Ego support that's off an Alter Ego. So I think most people also agree with me that they're gonna be playing Wonder Man more in hero form and using more of like his hero abilities here and the stuff to do in hero form. Yeah, so I definitely agree with that. I think that Wonder Man has such a great hero like side of his card, and being able to recover in hero form with the iron physiology can keep him up for a very long time, probably like the whole game, especially against the weaker scenarios. And 12 hit points, very, very good. So yeah, definitely looking like a strong hero coming up here. Not broken, it seems, because we only have two cards in S tier, but I still feel like this card may break him right here, the Mr. Hollywood card. And this card is pretty broken as well, right? The Quadra resource. But yeah. Hope you guys all enjoyed series, guys. Thank you so much. We have for the cameo votes here. How strong does chat think Kano is? We have 25% of people voting for it to be in the S tier, 38% A tier, so A tier one out here, 25% B tier, and 12% C or D. So I'm surprised here. Most of you guys voted to be B or higher. Only 12% think that Kano is a pretty weak card. But yeah, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for voting. I am JFD. Welcome to chat. Those that voted S for Cameo, I haven't read the disadvantage. Yeah, like everyone's voting pretty high for Cameo. The disadvantage for Cameo, and I think a lot of people have voiced that to me like in my review video. But basically you take a big tempo hit on turn one. So basically you have to discard, those two cards from your hand after setup. So you only start off, regular heroes have hand size of 6. It's gonna be a hand size of 4 on turn one, which is pretty bad. But it seems that everyone in chat thinks that it's well worth adding an identity specific ally to your deck for that. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think I will probably put it in B tier for power, but S and fun definitely. So yeah. All right, guys. That is it for the stream. I apologize so much for the lag. Thank you for still being able to join with the chat here despite this lag, guys. Yeah, no more lags for future streams, hopefully. I definitely want to find a better time that's not laggy too. I think the freeze always like messed up the internet here. So yeah, guys, thank you everyone for joining the chat, guys. Take care this weekend. Make sure you drip your faucets. Open up the cabinets, like for the plumbing and all that stuff. If you guys are in the states, and then if you guys like live at a house, you have to like um the like little hose stuff. You have to like cover the towels and just make sure that everything's covered. Yeah, I just went over to my mom's and like helped her carry everything. So yeah, guys, take care of all your stuff. Make sure that you're prepared for the winter, and yeah, stay warm, guys. Jack Bell, cheers, Web-Warrior Fanatic. Been a pleasure. Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure, guys. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the chat and for voting and for chatting, guys. All right. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend, guys. I'll see you guys all in the next video and the next live stream. Hopefully, that will be sooner than later, where we rank Hercules cards. See you guys later. Bye. I'll see you later, Dead Expo. Thank you. I'm glad you're able to make the stream finally.